Hey everyone, it's PBX Otaku. It's time for some more Wonfes talk. In my previous video, I spoke in detail about which Nendoroids I want. I'll link that video in the description and at the end of this one. This time, let's talk about some scale figures. Over the past several years at Wonfes, the presence of scale figures has significantly scaled down. And this year was no exception. Compared to Pop-Up Parade and Nendoroids, there weren't a lot of scale figure painted prototypes. But some scale figures were announced, some unpainted prototypes were shown, and I want to go over what hooked my interest. I'll start off with some announcements. Persona 3 Reload, a remake of the original Persona 3 game, recently released. Persona 3 originally had its fair share of scale figures, and that trend is going to continue with Reload. Amakuni announced 3 scale figures, and I am not surprised at the choices because I think these 3 characters received the most figures out of the entire P3 cast. Aigis, Elizabeth, and Mitsuru Kirijo. There are no further details other than these teaser photos. These figures might not even be based off these illustrations. It would be cool if Mitsuru's figure was based off her Reload artwork. It's a nice dynamic pose and a great outfit. I still have yet to play P3R, but it looks amazing and I'm really looking forward to it. The next few scale figures that got my attention were from the Korean RPG Blue Archive. Blue Archive was developed by Nexon Games and it's one of many recent gacha games like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Tower of Fantasy. Blue Archive actually had quite a bit of presence at Wonfes this year. Good Smile Company announced a scale figure of this character named Ichika. A handful of unpainted prototypes were shown as well. First, we have a swimsuit version of Miyako Tsukiyuki, also by Good Smile. This dynamically posed and elaborate Mika Misono is also by Good Smile. A scale figure of Iroha Natsume by Apex Innovation, and finally, this nicely painted prototype of Yuka Hayase, also by Good Smile. With Apex's reputation for making good figures and the promising looking prototypes from Good Smile, I think these will be some quality figures. I never played Blue Archive, but since it's free to play, I guess I could give it a test run. Let's breeze through some more unpainted prototypes. Here's a prototype of Oshi no Ko's Kana Arima by Spirit Tail. The Oshi no Ko characters look great, and I own Spirit Tail's Toga Himiko. Given how good that figure is, I have high hopes for this. Here's an unpainted prototype of Hitagi Senjo Gahara from the Monogatari series by Good Smile Shanghai. It's been a while since there's been a Hitagi scale figure. The last one was in 2019 by Kotobukiya, and the next one was in 2014, also by Kotobukiya. I own a Punishing Gray Raven figure made by Good Smile Shanghai, and it is top quality. I also expect this one to be great. This next set of scale figures really caught my eye. Check out this entire set of scale figures from RWBY by Good Smile Company. There's Blake Belladonna, Yang Xiaolong, Wai Shni, and Ruby Rose. These are all 1/6 scale, so they are going to be large in both size and price tag. RIP bank account to whoever buys this whole set. Also, whoever worked on these clearly has some favorites. Ruby and Yang stand out way more than Blake and Weiss. I likely wouldn't buy the whole set, and going off this picture, I'd be more inclined to get Ruby or Yang. Another series that's been popping off recently is Nikke, Goddess of Victory. If you're not familiar with this game, it's another gacha game that looks like it plays like an arcade shooter. As you'd expect from the title, the characters are pretty much all girls and heavily armed ones at that. Scarlet, one of the few characters with a sword, had an unpainted prototype unveiled at Wonfes. She looks really good, but dang, I bet she's going to be a nightmare to assemble. What do you think of the transition from 2D to 3D so far? Now, I'd like to move on to some fighting game scale figures. First one is the Street Fighter Chun-Li scale figure by Max Factory. The unpainted prototype looks promising and it's based off this illustration. I don't know who the artist is or what art book this image is from, but it looks amazing. and since Max Factory has a good track record as well, I think they can make the final version of this figure look just as great as the art it's based on. I also want to mention that it seems like Max Factory really enjoys making Chun-Li figures. They're producing this 1/6 scale figure, and they're also responsible for making the pop-up parade versions of Chun-Li. Just an interesting fact. Continuing with fighting games, Guilty Gear Strive also got a lot of representation at Wonfes. Spirit Tail announced a new Elfelt Valentine figure, and 2 different unpainted prototypes of Baiken were shown. Are any of you familiar with Jacko? Are any of you familiar with their pose? Well, a painted prototype of that was shown. It's really funny to actually see that pose make it to figure form. Guilty Gear fan favorite Bridget also got some love at Wonfes. Here's a painted prototype of Bridget by Fat Company, and here's another one of her by Clockworks. Okay, I have to mention something. The amount of Bridget figures being made is insane. We are getting them up the wazoo. Anyways, let's see what's being made in 2024. Broccoli's version released a few weeks ago on January 27th, Spirit Tail's offering releases on March 1st, 2024, Kotobukiya has 2 versions, Standard and Deluxe, planned for a May 2024 release. Also coming in May 2024 is a pop-up parade Bridget. Shibuya Scramble's Bridget is marked for a June 2024 release, and Kes Q's rendition has a tentative release date of November 2024. That's 6 Bridget figures releasing this year. It's an average of 1 figure every 2 months. That's quite a lot, but it's not a complaint, just an observation. Since all of these figures are based on Bridget's Strive outfit, I'm happy with getting just one. But it's gonna be hard to choose which one. I'm sure all of the Bridget enjoyers are crying in both happiness and pain. Happiness because Bridget is getting so much love, and pain because their wallets are going to have their essence drained away. I'm gonna wrap up this Wonfes video now, but there's still one more thing I want to discuss. Pop-up parades. But I'll leave that for another video. To all of my fellow figure enjoyers, was there anything at Wonfes that caught your attention? Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. My Patreon is linked in the description if you'd like to provide further support. As always, contributing is never required, but any support you give me is greatly appreciated. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.